Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to the course Analog Circuits. So, after 2 days gap, we are taking this subject again. Okay. So, hope to recall in the last class what we have discussed. Okay. So, we started off with BJT biasing. Okay. So, what is the purpose of BJT biasing? To instantiate or to make the collector current DC current at the collector, so that operating point is established in the network. Okay, and then it should be giving the maximum voltage swing at the ICVC characteristics, and also it should not vary with the temperature or variation in beta. Okay, so with respect to that, we have taken two circuits. One is voltage divider bias circuit and another is the collector to base bias circuit, and we have designed also with an example. Okay, so hope you have written the notes and you are familiar whatever we have discussed. Okay, so now we'll go to the second part of this BJT about small signal operation and models. Okay, so this is nothing but AC. Okay, so in any circuit there will be called as instantaneous voltage. Okay, the instantaneous voltage is nothing but it will be having DC as well as AC. Okay, so we could not study both together so that you will confuse. That's why we have taken the DC first. That is DC analysis. We have done nothing but biasing circuits. Okay, and now we are going to take the AC analysis. Okay, that means AC signal, a small signal component will be considering, and we are going to analyze the circuit. Okay, so for that we'll take a one conceptual circuit and we will try to explain all the currents and voltages in the transistor. Okay, so small signal operation and models. So first we'll take up the small signal operation and we try to understand the terms, and then we'll take up the model at the end. Okay, so today our discussion, so this is our main circuit. If you write down also it's better. So this is the circuit I will be referring throughout the discussion. Okay, so it is a conceptual circuit of a transistor as an amplifier. Okay, so this is the BJT. Okay, so you can consider it as NPN. Okay, so NPN means here it will be N, so base will be P and the emitter side will be N. So this is an NPN transistor. There is something confusion will happen here in the notation, just I will clarify that. Okay, so there will be three notations are there here. So one is the letter as well as the subscript, both are capital. Okay, another is the letter as well as subscripts are both are small. Another you will see a letter is small whereas subscript is capital. Okay, so clearly understand this throughout everywhere. Okay, for IB also, IC also, IE also, VC also. Okay, everywhere we need to concentrate on what is this. So for example I will consider IE now. Okay, so if you have a I small and E capital, this is called as the instantaneous voltage. Okay, so this is called as instantaneous voltage, instantaneous emitter current. So for that I will be small and E will be capital. Okay, so this is nothing but it will be having two components. One is DC and AC. The DC, the letter as well as subscript, we will write it capital. Okay, so this is DC I. Okay, and along with that you will be having the AC component. In that case both letter as well as subscripts are small. Okay, so hope it is clear. Okay, so throughout the discussion you should not confuse with this. Okay, so IE letter small and subscript capital means it is an instantaneous emitter current which consists of two components. One is DC and another AC. So DC will be represented as letter as well as subscript both capital, and AC will be represented letter as well as subscript as small. So this will holds good for everything, IC, IB. Okay, everything. Okay, so see here I have shown instantaneous base current IB. So this will be consisting of two terms. One is DC IB, capital I capital B, plus a small. So that will take up the discussion. Similarly IC will be also like that. Okay, so VC also like that. For example here I have shown you this is the VBE. Okay, this is the instantaneous voltage, V small, BE capital here. This will constitute two components I have shown like this. So this is the DC here, DC battery, where letter as well as subscript both are capital. Okay, but my writing here everything looks like confusing, that's why I'm explaining it so that you catch that. Okay, and here it will have the AC. So AC normally represented like this, but I have shown as plus minus only, like a waveform, and it will be letter as well as subscript is small. So both these together we call it as the instantaneous voltage. Okay, so what is meant by transistor as an amplifier? A small signal input will be given to an base of the transistor, a small amplitude, okay, as I given the application, and at the collector side you will have the its magnitude. Okay, you will have the maximum output voltage swing. Okay, it should be enlarged. Okay, so I gave you example of a auditorium, right, where a speaker will be speaking with a small microphone, and all the 1,000 students whoever assembled in the auditorium, they can listen equally what he is saying, right? So the front people will be listening more, backside no. So it will be connected to the loudspeaker. So that, so what is the application here? A small signal will be converted into a large signal. To get this properly a signal, so your transistor should be biased properly. Okay, so you should establish the operating point. Nothing but the collector current and a collector to emitter voltage should be established in the transistor first. First we should make. So if you want to use a mobile phone now, you have to attend the Zoom class now. What is the first thing you have to do? For example, assume your mobile is switch off now. So without switching on, can you work the mobile phone to connect to Zoom? Not possible, right? First you have to switch on that, right? So once it is switched on, so then you, what you want to do, that you can do, right? So you can connect the internet. So whatever application, even if you want to see video on YouTube or you want to access WhatsApp, whatever, first your device should be on, right? So the same way in the transistor. So when initially when you connect, go to lab and connected all the components, okay, suddenly will give the from the signal generator you will give the signal, right? Nothing but input you are giving. So transistor is without owning that, can you expect amplification process? No, right? So that should be made on. Okay, so that will be made on in such a manner that it should work properly. So if your battery is not charged properly, can it on? So not possible, right? The same way, so you should on it here, and it's such a manner that you should get a maximum voltage swing. That is what we have discussed in the first part, BJT biasing. Okay, so now I am not going to discuss. We'll take up the small signal operation. So some concepts at least you are following here. Okay, so this is the conceptual circuit I am referring throughout this discussion. Okay, so I will be having a instantaneous base to emitter voltage as input, which will consist of DC component as well as AC component. Okay, which will be connected to the transistor here. And you know that basic concept of transistor, if your transistor should be working as amplifier, the base emitter junction should be forward bias and the collector emitter junction should be reverse bias. Okay, so here the base emitter junction is forward bias by a DC voltage VB. I told you very first here, right? This is N and this is P. P means positive side, we can say, N means negative side. So here P side is connected to positive of the VBE. Okay, that means it is forward bias. So that is how. Same way here, collector base junction is there here. So where here? So collector is this and this is the base, right? So this is N side, which is connected by another battery here. So see here, plus. So negative side is connected to plus, meaning what? It is a reverse bias. Okay, so that's what explained here. The reverse bias of the collector base junction is established by connecting the collector to another power supply of voltage VCC. Okay, so VCC is connected and here VB is connected, okay, through a resistor RC. The input signal to be amplified is represented by the voltage source VB. Small VB is shown here in the network, right? That is okay, that is superimposed on VB, both superimposed. Okay, nothing but it is an instantaneous voltage. Okay, so this is the explanation of this circuit. So now this circuit, first what we will do, first we will make up the DC biasing. Okay, what we have done previously, the same thing, just what we will do in DC biasing. So we'll remove all these instantaneous representations, only we'll see the capital letter and capital subscript. That means it is a DC analysis. Okay, and this also will omit. Okay, so this will be made 0, that means it is a short circuit. Okay, so just we'll see that in the next slide. Just a minute. Okay. So we consider first the DC bias conditions by setting the signal VBE to 0. Okay. And the circuit reduces to that of in figure B, and we can write the following relations for the DC currents and voltages. This is what we have done last time. So the same thing I am doing it. Everything I am writing letter as well as subscript here capital, because it is a DC biasing part. Okay. So I'm not going to explain much detail in how we got the equations and all, because you already done it. Just to show, we are discussing small signal operation. So now this is the base current, and there is a collector current at the collector side and the emitter current at the emitter side. VCC is connected here, and this is the voltage VCE, collector to emitter voltage. Normally this will be a combination. So this is the collector voltage here. Okay. So this collector voltage is equal to VCE now, because there is no resistor connected at the emitter side. So it will be V will be 0. So that's why VC is equal to VCE. And this is the VBE connected here, DC. Okay. So two power supplies are there, and these are the voltages and currents established. So the expression, if you write, so this is the collector current expression relating saturation current and thermal voltage. Okay. So thermal voltage is something very important for a transistor operation. Okay. So IS is saturation current into e to the power VBE by VT. So this VB is the applied input voltage divided by VT. VT means thermal temperature, because transistor depends on the temperature where you are working. Okay. For example, if you are doing in the lab, okay, normally this time you will be facing that. So if you are working with transistor, if transistor something biasing, if you make wrong, okay, or if it is on for much larger time, if it is get heated, transistor may damage. So in that case, if you does not get the output, so you have to change the transistor. Okay, that is the thing will happen. So that's why this thermal voltage will be there along with collector current, which will be given as K into T divided by Q. This is nothing but thermal voltage. You may be gone through this in ED subject. Okay, so K means Boltzmann constant, which will be available from your calculator. It is 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23. T is temperature in Kelvin, so it will be given as 273 plus temperature in degree Celsius. So if we consider room temperature as 27 degree, so 273 plus 27 means it will give you 300 degree Kelvin. And Q is the charge of an electron. Okay, because it is semiconductor device, so charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So if you substitute that, you will be getting the VT value. Okay, and it purely depends on the temperature here. Okay, so K and Q are constant, only T is the variable here. Okay, so that is the first expression, and remaining, you know, IE is given by emitter current is given by collector current by alpha, or collector current is equal to alpha times emitter current. Okay, similarly base current equal to IC by beta. Okay, these are all DC now discussing. Okay, what we have done previously. Similarly, VC in this case here, as I told you, VC is equal to VCE, because V is not there. So which is nothing but VCC minus IC into RC. Okay. So these are the four expression we come out from this DC biasing. Okay. So now we'll go for the small signal operation. So hope you understood. Now the transistor is established and it is operating now. Okay. Now we have to make it as an amplifier and something. So obviously for active mode operation, okay, because we have to make the transistor in active region, right? So VC should be greater than VB minus 0.4 by an amount that follows for a reasonable signal swing at the collector. Okay, so that's what DC biasing part it will be explained. So VC should be that much larger so that you will get a proper output voltage swing. Okay, so now what we'll do is the basic conceptual circuit we have taken now. Again, we'll consider that, and we'll try to give the expression for each of the currents: collector current, base current, and emitter current. And each of the current, there is a small parameter associated with that. So with respect to collector current, we have the transconductance, okay, which is given by GM. Okay, so it is denoted as GM transconductance. Why transconductance? Why it is called so? We will discuss that. Okay, so that you will come to know. It is with respect to collector current. Okay, so small letter I, capital letter C. This is the collector current we are discussing. Similarly, next we will consider the base current, that is IB. Okay, so for with this there is a associated resistance. Okay, so that resistance we call it as R5. Okay, and similarly we'll discuss the emitter current. Okay, associated resistance is RE we denote. Okay, so these 6 quantities we'll be discussing now, and we try to get the expression for each of these 6 parameters. Okay, and then finally we will see one simple problem how to solve. Okay, so that is what our agenda today. Okay, so let's jump into that. So first, collector current and the transconductance. Okay, so simple it is. Okay, if a signal VB is applied as shown in figure A, very first circuit. Okay, again VB I have connected because biasing is over now. Now I will give the small signal voltage VBE. Okay, the total instantaneous base emitter voltage VBE becomes, so this VBE is nothing but, here my V looks like everything is same. Okay, but this is a small v, capital B. Okay, so that is what this, which is nothing but, this is capital V, capital B, nothing but DC base to emitter voltage plus AC base to emitter voltage. This here everything is small, here everything is capital, here letter is small and subscript is capital. Okay, correspondingly the collector current becomes, okay, from the previous DC biasing we have listed 4 equations. Now from that, IC is known as IS into e to the power VB by VT. Okay, so what is this VB here? This VB. Okay, so now this VB will substitute VB plus VBE. So in this, okay, so VB is equal to VB plus VBE. It is in e to the power, that's why we will expand this. So VB by VT, okay, into e to the power VB by VT. Understanding this? So this parameter divided by VT I am writing. Similarly this parameter, okay, because you know that e to the power A plus B means e to the power A into e to the power B. Okay, so exponential, you know, this is e to the power A plus B form is there. So if we expand this, it will be e to the power A into e to the power B. So this basic mathematics, okay, I'm applying. So that's why e to the power VB by VT into e to the power VB by VT you getting. Okay, so then, so use of equation 1. Okay, so what is the equation 1? We have written IC is equal to IC into e to the power VB by VT. Okay, so equation 1. Okay, what is that equation? This equation. Okay, IC is equal to IS VB by VT we have written there. Okay, so using that we'll be writing the IC. Okay, so there, what was there in equation 1? Just if I try to show you, the confusion here is with the letters. Okay, instantaneous, AC and DC. Okay, so this is the capital IC here, DC biasing, DC collector current equal to IS into e to the power VB by VT. Okay, here I am substituting that. Okay, so here I got 2 terms now. So this term is a DC term here. So this I replace it by capital IC. Okay, from the equation 1. What is remaining? So this IC is there as it is here, and this e to the power VB by VT is just written over here. Okay, and this complete term I have replaced it by capital IC, and I call it as equation 5. Now if VB is very much less than VT, so this VB is a very small signal. Okay, very small in terms of millivolt. Okay, if this is very much less than this thermal voltage, we may approximate equation 5 as, okay, here again I am using one Bernoulli's expansion. Okay, if you have e to the power A, then I can write it as 1 plus A square, like that we can write. Okay, the same way. So here IC is equal to IC, this I have expanded 1 plus VB by VT. Okay, so this equation holds good only when VB is very much small compared to thermal voltage VT. Okay, we'll continue. So it is a continuous one. So PPT I can show you hop up like that. So here in the above this one, if we expanded the exponential in a series and retained only the first terms, that's why we got 1 plus VB by VT. Okay, so this approximation, which is valid only for VB less than approximately 10 millivolt, the thermal voltage, if it is 10 millivolt, so then it is referred to as small signal approximation. That's why we are discussing small signal operation. This is nothing but small signal approximation. Under this approximation, the total collector current is given by, what is the total collector current means? DC as well as AC, which will be represented by small letter and capital subscript, which is the DC. I have just expanded there. IC was outside, right? IC into 1 plus VB by VT was there. IC I have expanded to both the terms. So what you will get? IC plus IC by VT into VB. So I got the equation 7. Now, thus the collector current is composed of the DC bias value IC and a signal component IC. Okay, so DC and AC. AC normally call it as signal component. So now this is a DC. Now what is the AC value? So the letter as well as subscript is small. So don't see this and this. My writing here looks like both are same, but this is not same. This is a instantaneous current. Here C is capital, I is small. Here I and C both are small. Okay, so this is what the confusion will happen. So you should note down. Okay, so this is equal to IC by VT VB. Only this part. Okay, only this part I am writing over here. This is nothing but the signal current I comma small IC. Okay, you know that instantaneous collector current equal to DC current plus signal current, and this signal current I am writing over here because that is what our final output. Okay, that's what our heading, right? Collector current and transconductance, we are going to give the expression. Now I got the expression for now collector current, which is given by collector current, DC collector current by thermal voltage into signal component VBE. Okay, so this equation relates the signal current in the collector to the corresponding base emitter signal voltage. So this is our IC. Okay, so we'll continue the discussion for transconductance now. Okay, so it can be written as IC equal to GMVB. Okay, so here just if you see amplification, this was the input. Okay, what is when you apply VBE, output was IC. So you got applied input, you got the output, but this component, if it is in V by I form, if it is V by I form, then we call this as resistance. Okay, last time in the 2-port network I gave you how to give the names, right? So this is a resistance component. Okay, and now input to output is happening, that's why it is trans. Okay, the word came as trans resistance, but in this expression there is a reverse ratio is there, I by V is there. Okay, so since it is I by V is there, so that's why it is called as reciprocal of resistance is conductance, and it is a input to output, so that's why transconductance the term. Okay, so collect along with collector current there is a component present is transconductance, and it is given as GM. Okay, so this IC by VT now we can approximate as GM. Okay, that's what I have shown you in the next slide. So it can be rewritten as IC equal to GM into VBE. So this is called as the term transconductance. You understood why that term transconductance is called? Okay, so just you can go through after the session, you can write down the notes and read out so that you will clearly understand. Okay, so from because it is first time now, so it is very difficult to concentrate also. So bear with me. Okay, and from equation 8 it is given by, so what is that equation 8? Previous equation. Okay, so GM is given as GM approximated as IC by VT, just previous equation. Okay, so it is the collector current by thermal voltage. Okay, so this ratio is there, current to voltage, that's why it is conductance, and it is input to output ratio is there, that's why transconductance. Okay, so both expression you got, IC you got. Okay, so IC by VT into VBE, and GM is equal to IC by VT. From this IC can be given as GM into VBE. Okay, so you'll see the problems and all how to determine this. Just some inputs about transconductance. We observe that the transconductance of the BJT is directly proportional to the collector bias current. Okay, it is the collector bias current IC, and this transconductance is one of the datasheet parameter. Okay, so when you take a new mobile phone and they will give a data sheet. Okay, so its internal memory is this much, okay, camera resolution is this much, like that they will give you specifications, right? Same way in the transistor they will give you this specification, transconductance. Okay, so this is a very important for analysis purpose. Okay, to obtain a constant predictable value for GM we need a constant predictable IC. Okay, finally we note that BJTs have relatively high transconductance value. For example, IC, if IC value is 1 milliamp, then you will get the transconductance value approximately equal to this much, 40 milliamps per volt. So how you calculate that? So IC 1 milliamp and VT is substituted as approximately 26 millivolt. Okay, approximately 26 millivolt is the thermal voltage for a room temperature of 27 degree. Okay, so I will show you that in example. It will come around 38 point something. we approximate it as 40. Okay. So that is what about the discussion, collector current and transconductance. Okay. So we'll continue the discussion for now second current, which is nothing but now base current. Okay. Collector current you understood. So before that, we discussed the graphical representation of this GM. Okay. A graphical interpretation for GM is also given here, where it is shown that GM is equal to the slope of the ICVB characteristic curve at IC equal to IC. ICVB characteristics means this is the output current and this is the input voltage. Okay. So input voltage versus output current, VB characteristics. And if you draw the input characteristics of the transistor, it looks like this, right? And this is the value of VBE, approximately 0.7. At 0.7, because it is like a PN junction diode, base emitter junction is forward bias. At 0.7, it will be showing like the same as diode characteristics, right? Now at this point, at this linear segment, we'll identify the 3 points and we'll draw the waveform here. This is the input signal. Okay, small signal component. This is how we show, like, okay, this is the VBE and this is the VBE and this is the collector current. And here we will draw its how it will be getting the magnified output. Okay, if you see the output waveform here, it is definitely an amplitude much larger than this one, and it is giving clear output. Okay, there is no clipping off or something. Okay, it is giving a maximum output voltage swing. So this is the how transconductance also can be represented, and it is nothing but the slope here. So here transconductance is nothing but slope of this characteristic curve. Okay, so which is IC by VBE. So this side you have the IC and this side you have the VBE. Okay, fine. So time is running, last 10 minutes is there. So how much possible, that much I will cover, and remaining I will continue in the next session. Okay, so don't worry about that. So hope it is clear. So this is about the GM. Okay, so just to explain, okay, just read out I will. The small signal approximation implies keeping the signal amplitude sufficiently small so that operation is restricted to an almost linear segment of the ICVBE exponential curve. Okay, so the same diagram I have explained here. Increasing the signal amplitude will result in the collector current having components non-linearly related to VBE. We could not simply increase the signal amplitude. Okay, okay, this will make the collector current component non-linearly related to VBE. That should not happen. Okay. Then analysis above suggests that for small signals, which is called as small signals, VB value is much smaller than VT value. That is called as small signals. The transistor behaves as a voltage controlled current source. Last time we have defined 4 dependent sources, right? Voltage controlled current source, current controlled current source, voltage controlled voltage source, current controlled voltage source, like that 4. In that way, in this case, this will be explained in model. Okay, this is a discussion, small signal operation and models. We could not do everything in one day, right? So if it is there, you will understood that how it is going to come. But remember this point when I am discussing model. Okay, hybrid 5 model I am discussing, I will be using this voltage controlled current source. Okay, so that is what this, okay, about. The input port of this controlled source is between base and emitter, because it is a common emitter configuration, and the output port is between collector and emitter. Okay, so here we will see the voltage controlled current source. The transconductance of the controlled source is GM here, and the output resistance is infinite. So you have done in the 2-port networks. Okay, 2-port networks, hybrid parameters. I told you, I mentioned you this in transistor analysis. We will be using this model. Yes, the same model I'm going to use that with the names change. Okay, so transconductance, these names we will be using different, the subscription. Okay, just a minute, I'll clear it. Okay, so now we'll go to the next one, base current. Okay, so base current and the input resistance I told you. Okay, so same way, to determine the resistance seen by VBE, we first evaluate the total base current IB using equation. Okay, so how we calculate that? We have already the expression in previous derivation. IC is equal to IC plus IC by VT into VBE. So this is nothing but instantaneous collector current equal to DC collector current plus AC collector current. Okay, or small signal component. So in this expression, just what I will do to find out IB, I will divide it by beta. So wherever IC by is there, I will divide it by beta. It becomes the IB, right? So this is IB, instantaneous base current. So instantaneous collector current by beta, which is equal to IC by beta. Here also I am dividing 1 by beta into IC by VT VB. Now what happens? This is IC by beta is called as the DC base current, and this is called as the AC base current or small signal component IB. Okay. So now we relate this IB to this part, second part, that is our base current expression. So here that's what I explained, where IB is equal to IC by beta, that is the first term, and the second term is the signal component IB, which is given by equating to this 1 by beta into IC by VT VBE. Okay, and we also know that IC by VT is nothing but what? Substituting for IC by VT is nothing but what? Transconductance GM. Last time we know. If we substitute that, what I will get? IB is equal to GM by beta into VBE. So that is our base current expression. This is very simple. Okay. So this is how we got the base current expression. Okay. If they ask problem, I will use this expression to find out the base current. Okay. So now I told you along with base current, there is a small resistance present. Along with current, always there is a small resistance present, right? To limit the flow of that current, right? So what is that resistance? We call it as R5. The small signal input resistance between base and emitter looking into the base is denoted by R5, and it is defined as, so how you define resistance? Voltage by current. So it is at the input, base current where it is present in the transistor, at the input side, right? So input side, what is the voltage here? VBE. And what is the current established there? IB. Okay. So VB by IB. If you take the ratio of that VB by IB, I will get the R5. Okay. So this is the basic definition of input resistance. Now, if I use this expression 14, okay. So here VB is there, IB is there. Just if I make this IB, if I take here denominator, so what I will get? R5 is equal to beta by GM. So this beta I am taking left side, and GM it will come in the denominator, and this IB will come in the denominator. So VB by IB we can approximate, you will get at beta by GM. So this is the expression for now R5. Earlier case transconductance, there was much elaborated discussion. Now once we got collector current, finding out IB and IE is very simple. Just we will be using this relation IC by beta. We got the IB, and then using this relation VB by IB, I got the R5 equation. Clear? So similarly, now we see the emitter current. So before that, one more expression we try to give it for R5 along with this previous expression beta by GM. Give one more expression. So what is that? This one. How we get this? Thus R5 is directly dependent on beta and is inversely proportional to the bias current IC. Substituting for GM equal to IC by VT. So in that GM, beta by G1 is there, no? I will substitute GM with IC by VT, and when I get IC by beta, I will replace it by IB. So gives an alternative expression for R5. You can, to find out, you can either use that expression. In case if beta value is not given, you can go for this expression. Okay. So I have substituted here beta by GM is there. GM is IC by VT, nothing but VT by IC will come. So here beta by IC is nothing but what? 1 by IB. IC by beta is IB. So if I take beta here denominator, so it will come VT by IB. So that is my alternative expression for input resistance. Okay. Finally, I left out with now emitter current, that also can be derived same manner. The total emitter current IE can be determined from IC by alpha. So just DC current by alpha, AC component by alpha. So this is given as I equal to IE plus I. This is very beginning I told you, right? Instantaneous emitter current equal to DC emitter current plus AC component. Okay. The same thing holds good for all the derivations in small signal operation. Here where I is equal to IC by alpha, and the signal current IE is given by I equal to IC by alpha. So if I just substitute that, so IC value. So what was the IC value? So 1 by alpha IC by VT. Okay. So that's what I got as the IC by VT into VB. This is the collector current. We got it very first, right? So that only I have substituted here IC by VT into VBE. So now IC by alpha, you know, that is IE. So just I have substituted IC by alpha as So first I have substituted here IC value here first. Okay, that is this one. Okay, then this IC by alpha is nothing but what? IE. So that I have substituted in the numerator here. What is remaining? VT is in the denominator and VB is there. So this is my emitter current. Okay, so no need to much crack your head. Clear? Similarly, its associated resistance. If we denote the small signal resistance between base and emitter looking into the emitter by RE, it can be defined as VB by I. Previous case R5, VB by IB was there. Now it is VB by IE. Okay. So how you derive that? So again using equation, previous equation. Okay. So here VB by IE, if I make, it will be VT by E. Okay. The same operation. So I got VT by IE. Can again compare it with substituting GM. I can try to bring it with GM. So what I can do, you know that GM is equal to IC by VT. IC I will substitute alpha times IE by VT, and you know that, so alpha times VT by IE. So VT by IE is nothing but RE. So alpha by RE came. So from this RE is nothing but alpha by GM. Okay, alpha is approximately 1, right? It is giving 0.9 to 0.99. So we can approximate it to 1. That's why RE value is given as 1 by GM. Okay, so this is our discussion for today. So we have the problem. So we'll discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow I will, today I will give the notes. So you write down that. Tomorrow again I will repeat it, and then I will see the problem and I will go for next topic. Okay, so next class is on Monday.